Welcome to the start of another vlog. This vlog is going to be mostly library book reads because I have a bunch of Libby holds that came through, and I also have a bunch of library books out, so we're going to try to get through some of those. Most of my Libby holds I also have physical copies of on my physical TBR, so I'll be able to get that number down as well. So we're going to start off this vlog with The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. This has been on my TBR for a while. It sounded super creepy. It was written quite a while ago. I want to say 2014, maybe 2017. So a little while ago, but I've been hearing such good things about it. And I'm always in the mood for a gothic horror story, and this one is not super long or anything, so I was excited to get to it. But I have been reading this for the last couple of days on and off, and I'm on page 144 now. This is a Victorian Gothic story. It takes place in the 1800s for the main timeline, and we are following Elsie, and she has recently lost her husband and she is pregnant. They weren't married for very long, and she has to go to an estate that he was preparing for them that was in his family, but he ended up passing away unexpectedly. So she's going to this estate, and she's in her mourning period in her black dresses and everything. And she also has her husband's, I think, cousin there too, that he wanted to take care of and have in the house as her companion. So she is there too. And the help. So it's almost all women. I think all women actually in this house where the help. So there's like a few maids, but mostly it's, you know, it's just them. They're isolated in this estate, creepy estate, and there's a locked door, and they open the door and there's this wooden figure that looks a lot like Elsie. So they go up there and they bring that companion, they called them silent companions, down, and everyone's kind of creeped out by it, and weird things start happening, and the companions seem to be showing up in different houses. I got interrupted. The climbing gym is closed today. I brought my son to the gym and he's closed, and that's sad. Oh. We have to drive like 20 minutes to get here. So now the boys are in Dairy Queen, having their Dairy Queen. I did get myself a Blizzard, but I ate it already. And I let them hang out for a bit, and then I'm gonna drive his friend home, and then we have a concert tonight because my son plays drums and he is in the concert tonight as a percussionist, so we have that to do tonight. So this will be good. He'll be fed. I need to feed Arya something later. Anyways, I don't remember what I said about this, but I am now on page 153 and I'm absolutely loving it. Atmospheric, and what else? It is creepy. Victorian people made out of wood being creepy, and I am liking it a lot. We have a timeline from the 1800s, which is the main girl, Elsie, and then we have a timeline from the 1600s, which is stories from the family that has lived there previously, and we're slowly getting some of the mystery resolved with what happened 200 years ago. And then we also get some glimpses of the present, not present like now, but present like the present Elsie timeline, and she is in an asylum after whatever happened. We don't actually know yet. She's being accused of being a murderess, but she hasn't spoken since whatever happened. So she's working with some psychiatrist to write about what happened in the house. So we know something bad happened and people died, but we don't know why or how yet. Oh, and also her husband's body was in the house because they had like a burial or whatever, and before the burial she looks at his body. He has splinters on him, wooden splinters. Creepy. But this is very well done. Like, I don't want to stop reading it, so I probably won't update you again until I am done. I'm loving it. I'm curious about her other books now, because I know I don't know if it's a sequel to this or like a companion book that just recently came out or something. Anyways, I'm gonna continue reading this. I don't know much to say about it. It's just juicy Victorian Gothic goodness, and I'm really enjoying it. It's quietly creepy in the way Gothic stories are. You know, it's not like there's huge plot points happening, but it's just, you know, it's just good. I'm liking it. It's just good. It's my jam. And now I'm gonna want to buy this because it's a library book. I'm gonna want my own copy. In the past timeline of the diary that we're getting, that was found in the locked room, the former woman of the house is talking about how she bought these silent companions at this store, and the guy was like pushing them on her. She bought a whole bunch of them because they're having a special guest at the house and they want to impress them. And I'm like, these Victorians, they were wild. Their art is so creepy. I mean, I kind of like it, but also I wouldn't want a bunch of those in my house. Life-size wooden people staring at you. And their daughter, Hedda, in the past timeline, the 1600s timeline, she is mute. She can't talk because her tongue wasn't formed correctly in utero. And her mother, I guess, some people think that she's a witch. She is really good with plants and herbs and things. And supposedly she took some kind of tincture powder to help conceive Hedda, which her full name's Henrietta, because they told her she wasn't going to have any more kids after she had her sons. I think she has 2 or 3 sons. And she really wanted a daughter as a companion for her too, because she just had all these boys in the house. So she ended up taking this tincture and getting pregnant, and then their daughter is mute. And like I said, they're having these special guests at the house, and their father's like, no, Hedda can't be part of the performance they're gonna do, and blah blah blah. And it's just so sad because she's trying to dance around and show her dad what she can do, and he's like, no, you can stay for dinner, but then you're going away, because it's looked down upon to have any sort of deformity or malformation at this time, that it's a curse and of the devil, or what did you do to have caused this, etc. So yeah, that's sad. Poor Hedda. And also in the 1800s timeline, Elsie and the people of the house did something to try to combat what's going on. And I have a feeling it's going to come back to bite them in the butt. But we'll see what happens. Well, Jesus, I was right. Oh my God. Poor Beatrice. Something happened to Beatrice. I'm not going to tell you who or what that is, because I don't want to spoil it. But my gosh, I was not expecting that. I guess I should have, but I didn't. Yikes. And then there's now another companion, and it looks like someone else. Yikes. I guess I was right. It was like 3 pages later. Like, doesn't feel like they're gonna regret that. Oh, I am eating this up. I am loving this. This is so for me. I'm so happy I picked this up. I finished The Silent Companions for my first library book of this vlog, and I'm going to give it a 4 stars. I like this a lot. I thought it was creepy and slow and gothic and all the things. And the Silent Companions are definitely creepy, and apparently they were a thing, which I didn't even know, but the author says in the back that she was made aware of these creepy Silent Companions, so she wanted to write a story about them. That was interesting. I didn't know that that was an actual thing, but those Victorian. I will say there is some animal stuff in here. It's not on page, but there is a few animal type things on here. Thought it was going to be 5 stars until the last quarter, but it kind of lost it for me. There is stuff like asylum stuff in here, and I feel like reveals and things could have been done in a way that didn't include that. I didn't really feel like we needed that. I almost feel like the first person, the main POV from Elsie was enough. I don't feel like we needed the asylum stuff. I don't know how that would have been done in the end. I just didn't feel like we needed it, and I would have liked it better if the reveal was done in a different way. Let's just say that. It's a new week. I had the weekend. I started an audio book that I have from the library that I also have a physical copy of. My hold came in through Libby, so this can go in this vlog. I started The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor, and I am almost 50% of the way in. I started this over the weekend. I should be able to finish this today because I have a lot of cleaning and things to do to make up for, since the kids have been home a lot and I have not been doing all these other things I need to be doing. And it's gonna be nice today. It's supposed to be almost 60 degrees, so I also want to get a run in. But anyways, I started The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor. This is a thriller. There's this town that this mom, she goes to this town to become their new pastor or whatever, and the town has a bit of a violent history. Back in the day, they burned some witches, and they still do these effigies where they have dolls or whatever of the burning girls every year or whatever, and they still burn them or something. I don't really know. But anyways, it's just this town who has some creepy history. There's 2 girls that went missing, and we are trying to uncover what exactly happened to them. That happened before this woman got here, and she also has a teenage daughter who she just made move here. So she just made, they just had to make that move, and something definitely happened when she was in her previous parish, but we don't know exactly what that is yet. And it's a thriller. I'm liking it so far, and I think it might be my first CJ Tudor. I have a few. I have The Drift also from them. So yeah, so I'm gonna be working on reading that today. And I also need to get to start To Ride a Rising Storm, which this is the sequel to Shape a Dragon's Breath that we read for Allie's book club a few months ago. So I wanted to get to this before I forget everything that happens in it. And this is due in a few days and is a fairly new book. So I need to get to it pretty quickly. I'll let you know how that goes. This is about, this is an indigenous writer, and in this world you need to go to this special school and report if you have a dragon, and if you don't do certain things or behave a certain way, they will kill your dragon and not let you have a dragon anymore. So our girl, Anakus, has to go to this school and learn how to be a dragon. The first book is all about her trying to figure out what's going on there, and obviously not being treated all that great because she is from one of these tribes instead of one of these white people, and she runs into trouble with that. And then in this book, at the beginning of this book, she is visiting her home, so it should be good. I really liked the first one. I gave it, I think, a high 4 or a 5. I might have actually given it a 5. I can't remember. It was really good. So anyway, I'll update you when I have something to say. All right, so I'm here to update you on my reading. I did go for a run today. It is so nice out. It's like 60 degrees out now. It was a little chillier when I went out, but tank top. Sun's out, guns out, guys. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so cringe. I can't help it. It's because I have teenagers in the house, so I'm just like cringe ironically, and now it's become part of my personality. Anyway, so yeah, I got the vacuuming done. I got the second load of laundry in the dryer. I put the first load away and I cleaned the bathroom. So I'm on a roll today and I'm tired and I don't feel like doing anything, but I really need to start this because this is due on Wednesday and it's Monday. On my run and while cleaning, I finished The Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor because I had a Libby Hold come in for the audiobook, so I finished that, and that book is a thriller. I don't really have too much thoughts on this actually. I just thought it was fine. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, 3.75 because I was very entertained the whole time and engaged with it the whole time. But you know, it's a thriller. It didn't piss me off and I had a pretty good time, so I'm gonna give it a 3.75. I was surprised by some of the twists. I thought they made sense and they didn't make me annoyed. So 3.75 for this, and this is going to get this off my physical TBR. I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I might keep it for a bit because I have room on my shelves still. And when I need to do a comb through and actually get rid of things that I don't feel like I need to keep, then I will do that, or I might pass it along. I don't know. So I'm going to start reading lists now. I'd like to get a third of the way through this today if I can. It is, I think, oh, it's not too bad. It's like 443 pages or something, so I'm gonna start reading it. It's my naughty girl. Oh. Where you going? You gonna sit on my lap? What she's doing? She's probably looking for a crumb. They just had popcorn, huh? You got some. You got something you wanna say hi to people? No, there's nobody here. There's nobody. There's nobody here, baby. That's not what I meant. You're crazy. Whew, it is like super sunny out today. It is going to be almost 70 degrees. I put this on, which is like a light kind of sweatshirt type deal, but I think I'm going to have to change because I'm already hot. Anyway, I have to go to the grocery store. We are out of a few things and it's a gorgeous day out. So I'm actually going to go in the grocery store and instead of placing an order. So be amongst the people, get a little sun. And then I think when I get home and put the groceries away, maybe I'll eat lunch if I'm hungry. If not, then I think I'm going to set up my camp chairs and sit outside. I can't really do hammock yet. I mean, I could, I guess. The hammock straps are on the tree, but there's still snow on the ground. So I don't know if I want to deal with the snow, but we'll see. It should finish melting today mostly, hopefully, except for maybe some shady areas. That would be nice. Then we can start the de-mudding process, which things are going to be muddy until we stop freezing at night, because it freezes and then it melts in the morning and then it freezes and then it melts in the morning. But I am really looking forward to getting back on the trail to run, because I am so sick of running on this same routes that I run all the time. I ran 5 miles yesterday. It was so nice. I'm not running today, even though it's gorgeous out, but I'm sure I'll take a few walks with the dogs just because I ran the past 2 days and I don't want to push it because I did have some back issues last week. So I just don't want to mess myself up too much. Hopefully I'll be able to start lifting again soon. I feel like every time I try to lift, I hurt my back. So I think I just need to, even though I'm capable of lifting more, I just need to go in real slow. It's just going to be super annoying, but I just think unfortunately, that's what I'm going to have to do, and just increase very slowly and annoyingly instead of do what I used to do, which was just like go hard and deal with the consequences. But anyways, I need to update you for the library vlog. I am on page 170 of To Ride a Rising Storm, and I'm liking it almost as much as I liked the first one. I am enjoying being back in this world and seeing Anacus and what she's doing and what they're up to. They're back at the school now. At the beginning of this, they're on her island and dealing with some of the new things that have been put into place, seeing the consequences of that, and there's politics, etc. And then now they're back at school, so I'm more excited to see that they're back in school. She's back in school with her friends and things, and that's just more exciting to me, learning how to ride her dragon on the ground. And yeah, this is, I think I described this as like there's political things going on and there are some pretty high stakes in here, but it just kind of feels cozy, and I don't know why. The characters are just really, I don't know, comforting in a way. So I'm enjoying being back in this world. There are some things I'm not liking. There's some like descriptions of like random stuff that I just don't feel like we need in this fantasy world. Like there's some details that I truly just don't care about, like the particular saddles and the particulars of how each dragon looks. Like some of it's cool, but like all the different species of dragon, I have a really hard time picturing that in my head. So for me, it's just kind of like, okay, the dragons are different, but other than like maybe one main feature, I'm not going to really remember too much about each of the dragons. And there's some descriptions of some other things in here too. Like they went to a political meeting. There was more talk about the politics and everything, and there's a lot of information in there that I was just going to go in one ear and out the other. But yeah, I am enjoying this. And I'm going to keep reading. I need to finish this by end of day tomorrow because it's due back at the library tomorrow. So if I want to get this back on time, then I need to finish this. But we'll see. I don't know. If I don't finish it, it's not the end of the world. I can pay a late fee, even though it's like pennies. I just don't like doing it. And then I am 33% into The 3 Lives of Kate K, which was a Libby hold. I have this physically on my physical TBR. Someone gave it to me, their book of the month, when they were done with it. And my brain. Oh yeah, I do have this physically, but I got a Libby hold for it, which was nice, so I can listen to it and then get it off my shelves if I don't want to have it anymore. But I might end up keeping this one because I am liking it. We're following a woman who has changed her name and changed her life and sort of run away from current circumstances several times. We're seeing her points of view and then points of view from some people in Hollywood. Not too much though. Like, I don't think it's going to cause like you not to like this if you don't like those kind of stories. But at the beginning, it's her coming of age and dealing with her sexuality a little bit and her best friend Amanda, and then something happens as they are graduating high school and she flees for the first time and she leaves and she's dealing with the guilt of that. So this just seems to be her personality, where instead of staying and dealing with current circumstances, she leaves and she's trying to figure out who she is and what her morals are and dealing with her guilt and her conflicting emotions about what happened in her past. You know, it's like one of those things where she doesn't want to deal with it, so she drives away, and then she thinks back, oh, I need to go back, but the longer she stays away, the harder it is to go back. So I am liking that one so far. It's a lit fic, and it's interesting. So nice out, so I've been reading outside. I'm on page 200 of To Ride a Rising Storm now, and some of these boys at school are trying to get her to join a secret society, and she's like, what use is that to me? Why would I need to do this? So she says, it seems that you've got a lot to think about. I said, frankly, I'm not sure that your little society is worth my time. If you were any kind of important, I'd have heard of you before, and your articles have nothing at all concerning direct action. It seems to me to be an exercise of young men gathering to puff one another up about what's wrong with the world and argue about the best way to change it, all to arrive at doing nothing at all. Angyls, she said it. I love it. She is such a boss. She just like speaks her mind all the time. And I guess if I have one criticism is this, it's how realistic is it that just because she has a dragon, she doesn't get in trouble for the repercussions of her speaking her mind are so existent, when I feel like in reality that wouldn't be the case. However, it's fun to read about for sure. Got my mother-in-law's dog right here. She's enjoying being outside, aren't you, Sophia? And I got my big girl over there. You can't really see her. And I got the little girl over there. Hey, Ellie Bell. There's this fenced-in area in our backyard to make it easier to let the puppies out. I spent a good amount of time yesterday and today scooping poop. Now that the snow was all melted, I'm getting out there and scooping it. I think I did like 14 poop scoopers full. Ugh. I like to keep up with it, but because of the winter and how much snow we had and it freezing to the ground, I wasn't. So now I am making up for the lost time, scooping the poop. Oh, snow's almost gone. Huh. You did pretty good. Go get it, go get it. You get the toy? I can't get it. Why, Rose? I can't. Get it. So I'm 64% of the way through the 3 Lives of KK. I'm actually liking this quite a bit. There's one character in here who's just supremely evil, in my opinion. Very narcissistic and opinionated and a liar and manipulative. And I'm really hoping that something happens to her by the end of this. But I'm really liking it. It almost is reminding me of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugenaway, just because of the fame bit and the book bit, and because the KK character is writing the memoirs of her life after she's having had success of writing this book that is featured in here. And so she's just, it's examining all these different aspects of her life. So it is reminding me a little bit of that, which I really enjoyed. So I think if you enjoyed that, you might enjoy this. But I'm happy to be reading this, and yeah, we're still actually getting some tidbits from her past and the people she left behind as well, which I think is good. I am 318 pages into To Ride a Rising Storm now. I am still liking this, but I'm finding that I'd rather read something else right now. But this is due back tomorrow, so I need to read this. So I think I would be having a better time with this if I could read 50 pages a day rather than 150 pages a day. But I can't, I'm not going to fault it for that. But in these books, there are a lot of indigenous coded words, but there are also a lot of English words, but they're changed a little bit into other words. And those parts are still throwing me off a little bit. The indigenous words are fine, but the English words that are changed into other words are still throwing me off a little bit when they're used a ton. Like the countries are all like, it's Africa instead of Africa, and Rusland instead of Russia. Let's see, Engelsland instead of England, and Swedland. So those ones are, I mean, they're not hard, but there are other words that South Markets Land is South America. So these ones aren't too bad, but there's a lot of different things in here. Like even instead of saying Odin, they say a different word, and different gods, and different religions. Like there are people who are Jewish in here, they're Jewish coded because this isn't our world, but it basically is our world. It's just been, put in a fantasy lens with dragons and stuff. So like the map itself is the map of Earth. It's just with different names and different magical aspects to it. But like all their magic is mostly based on, yes, the dragons, but also like there's like the periodic table and atoms. Like there's this class that they're in when they're talking about like the atoms and the balls and connecting the balls like you do in chemistry in high school and things like that. So there's a lot of detail in here about the magic system. So if you like that, if you like to know exactly how things are working, I am one that I like the magic system to make sense, but I don't want to know the intricacies of it. Like I don't want to feel like I am reading about every little thing of it, because then I just get bored. So those parts I'm sort of like, I'm reading them, but I'm kind of skimming through it because I'm not going to remember any of that. So, and I don't really care. So those parts I am finding a little bit more difficult. I want to know about the politics and the relationships. I mean, that's really what I care about, is the relationships Anna Kus has with her friends and her romantic interests and her relationships with the adults and etc. So I'm enjoying that aspect to it. It still feels like cozy to me. I know that like we're moving towards probably a civil war. So it's just the way that this book is moving. But I am interested in it. One thing I will say is that the island that Anna Kus comes from, the community Anna Kus comes from, it's all very matriarchal. It's instead of patriarchal. And that sounds wonderful, but it's almost like they have no problems. Free love and everybody shares everything and et cetera, et cetera. It almost sounds like too good to be true. You know that there's got to be some issues there. So it almost just feels like a paradise. And not realistic, but at the same, maybe there were some native tribes that were like that. I don't know. I have no idea. I will say one thing about this book, since I'm reading it primarily on audio, it's a little tricky because there's so many different point of views in here. Going back to characters, back and forth from characters from her past, and even the narrator has several different names. So that's making it a little bit tricky to read on audio. Sometimes I forget who I'm listening from. It's not hindering my enjoyment, it's just something to add. It takes me a bit to realize what the heck's going on sometimes, but I get there. I think it would be easier to read this physically, at least, or have the physical book so that you can be like, oh, who is this chapter from? You could flip back and see and keep track of that. But other than that, I'm liking the audiobook. I have the audiobook from Libby. That's why this is in this blog. I finished The 3 Lives of Kate K by Kate Fagan. I liked this one. Like I said, it did remind you a little bit of Evelyn Hugo. Not exactly, but there is queer and you're following someone's different lives, and that one you're following her life with the husbands, and in this one Kate has 3 different lives, and I like the way it all came together at the end. And I was kind of sad that the person that really was manipulative and lied to our main character didn't really get any justice or anything, really. I mean, I guess I'm glad for Kate that she found peace and and didn't need to address that directly, but that really annoyed me. I thought this was good. I think I'm going to give it a 4. It might be more like a 3.75, but on Goodreads I think I'm going to give it a 4. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I listened to it and I thought the audiobook was pretty good. Okay, so I finished To Ride a Rising Storm. This is due back at the library today, so I'm going to go drop it off in a second, but I just wanted to update you first. I'm going to give this 4 stars. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I think there was definitely some slow parts in it, especially in the beginning, but once they got to school it picked up and I really enjoyed it a lot more. It still comes off as kind of like, it just feels cozy and like nice to be back in the world. The ending does pick up a little bit and the stakes got a lot higher, so be aware of that, but I still really enjoyed this one. I can't really obviously tell you much about it because it is the second in a series, but I do recommend picking this up. This is an Indigenous author and she does a really good job, and yes, I really liked this and I'm interested to see what happens next. Guys, I just realized I had a big smudge of mascara underneath my eyeball, probably from the chiropractor, since I you know, had to go face down for a bit. Anyway, I went to the library. I got to return To Ride a Rising Storm, so that's good. I got that all settled, and after finishing that, and then I picked up The Forgotten Beasts of Eld, which is a Patricia McKillop. I've heard really good things about her writing. I think most of hers is young adult, but I've just heard, you know, they're just classic fantasy, so I wanted to try her out since I've never tried her out before. And then I grabbed To You at the Altar, and this one is the third in the series. The first one was Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, I think. And I really liked the first one, and then the second one I really didn't like. I ended up giving it 2 stars, and I owned them both. So I wanted to pick up the third one and try this one and see if I like it better than the second one, because I obviously want to unhaul the second one if I don't like the third one. So the second one took them outside of their little small town that they make their little tea shop in, and I just didn't like it as much. They were traveling, they weren't with the same characters, and I thought that was a bummer, but I'm interested now that they're back in the town to see how I feel about this one. Hi. I was just editing my library blog from last week and I realized I didn't do a wrap up at the end, so I just wanted to let you guys know that in this vlog I did read 4 library books. I'm gonna end it here. I read 3 Lives of KK. I think I gave it 4 stars, 3.5. I read The Burning Girls, which I also gave a low 3, high 4. I read To Ride a Rising Storm, which I gave 4 stars. And then I also read The Companions, which I gave so far. So that was a pretty successful vlog. No big wins, no big losses. So I am happy with that. So if you like this video, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you've gotten from your library lately and what you're reading. And I will see you next time.